we do look at, but we try to keep it a little bit more simple on our end, because even transitioning to doing our own platform, but these are things we're kind of looking out over the future and say we might need to make some adjustments like that, especially on the Apple Pay.
And the idea is to have like everything integrated in one app, right? So you can see your bill
Right.
and also make the payment there.
Exactly. But when you use an entity out there, I mean, there's the structures that they're going through as far as, the account holder arranges the insurance through the agency. The agency submits the quote over, and they send the quote over. So the insurer or the actual financial company, once you send that over to the financial company, they offer the terms and payment options directly. And then the account holder, signs the financial agreement, pays the down payment. Sometimes, usually the initial one, sometimes have to go directly to the retail agency first. So we know it's come on. We know, or let's say if I, in the past, would be meeting directly with a client, I would physically pick up a check. So first payment had to be made to us. And then from there, the next payments were made. And usually, typically, there was an initial, maybe a down payment of 15 or 25%. So we would, in some cases, need that 15 or 25% up front. And then we'd submit it, and then the financial institution would then, from that point, send the next bills out, the installments. Make sense?
It makes sense. That's good to understand. Let me see here. So you have this bank as relationship. So
Yep.
What were the key reasons you decided to take this bank? We spoke a little bit of the control.
Yeah.
But you had issues with the other billing system before?
Yeah, we were having issues, especially with the cancellations we were getting in the mail.
Oh, so this cancellation was a huge issue. Okay.
Yeah, that was the major issue for us. The cancellations we were getting where our clients were saying we sent payments. So the financial institution just was not transitioning the payments quickly enough. And I don't know whether that was just their system. If a payment needed to be in 36 hours, 48 hours, we weren't quite sure on that component, but we wanted to have more control. That was our biggest issue.
Okay. Control, okay. In your new portal, when the clients log in, can they see like their past bills, the current bill,
Yep.
Past payments and okay.
Yes, they can do that, and we're a little bit unique too, because what we do is actually, since we're working in an industry out there, professional industry, if an addition or deletion of a professional within an entity, we're a little bit different. We actually refund, or we charge additional premium based on the new addition. Some insurers don't do that, but some other insurers do, that you're going to have a little bit more control too, that if we have a situation where someone has had somebody leave their entity or a couple of people leave their entity, we actually reimburse unpaid premium for those individuals. So we've got to have a little bit more control of that too.
Okay, that makes sense. And so if for example, if they're at an NC or not, or so they need a refund, it's all processed through this online portal that's processed through this bank, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And we let them know up front, kind of log on, they create their login and all that, and we send them an FAQ of questions and just kind of help them through that process. How you pay online, payments will be posted immediately. We've got these different structures of, is there a fee for payments? We go through all that process for them, and ours is about educating. And I think some of the other groups out there, that other entities that do, loans and things like that, what we're finding is, even in our industry, a lot of times is people just can't write that full check up front, and you've got to be able to have an option for them. Because if not, then good luck. You're going to go up against competition that maybe, even though you're offering a cheaper deal, but if you're not setting up a payment structure for them, you may not get the deal. Exactly. So as a retail agency, you've got to be able to have, abilities. And, it's interesting because, there's another group out there that you can download, their app on the app from Apple App Store. And so, yeah, I see some of the other entities out there are doing a lot of pretty cool things too, just to meet the needs of the newer generations,
Okay, that makes sense. And do you foresee any, what do you foresee should be the volume on this market in the next few years? So how much do you think it's going to grow?
We really don't base it on that component. Since we're actually through a large association, our piece is trying to make it easy for our clients and prospects. Are we growing because of that? I don't think we've tracked, especially now that we've got our own self-billing platform. But, I really can't say if that's an area that's going to increase improvement of new clients or retentions. I'm not sure, because we've had as an insurance group, we have a high retention percentage anyway. It's well over 90%. So.
Makes sense.
And then, when you start dealing with bigger entities out there, a lot of times, again, what it is that when you're working with smaller groups, smaller clients, they maybe don't have the finances sitting there. So the finances is really important, that they can have accessibility to the insurance. If they have a claim and that sort of thing, they have the insurance there. It protects them. But you've got to be able to set it up for them to make the payments. And, when you start working with larger entities, larger companies out there, larger groups that you're placing the insurance for, it's a little bit different scenario. Those folks usually have the cash and they pay annually, It's a little bit different structure for the bigger companies out there. But
so how many lives we were talking about in these big companies?
How many what now?
How many lives? How many? How do you measure lives, or insure capital?
We look at the number of individuals at a group. Okay.
And what would be the distinction for large versus small, medium? So how many people?
Well, we would say under. Our structure is a little bit different. So our small or 10 and under employees, our mediums are 11 to 100, and then anything over 100 is large. It's number of employees.
Okay.
But it's kind of across the board. Other people look at things different out there, but that's how what our focus is.
Okay. That makes sense. Let me go through my questions. I think we covered all the questions that I had here. If I have any follow-up questions, I'll let you know and connect with the GOG network. But yeah, okay. Thanks all for the time here.
Yeah, if there's any additional questions or percentages or something that might be helpful. But, again, we do set up a nice online billing portal. and it's very easy for them, for existing users to click, make their payments. And I think